Hello, FIRE Tribe. And in case you were wondering, FIRE is an acronym for Financial Independence to Retire Early. So, this year we are fired up, pun intended, to join the movement, and there's no stopping us. All in favor of this, say aye. The ayes have it. Welcome to our space for all things money, and most importantly, welcome to season 3 of the Hot Money Talks podcast. After another incredible season 2, we are back here again to learn more on how to win with our finances. In season 1, we had over 1,000 streams, and in season 2, you made good on the deal we made at the beginning of the season. And because of your tremendous support, we hit over 2,600 streams by the end of season 2. Aren't you simply phenomenal? Thank you for journeying with me. If you're just joining the community for the first time, let me do a little introduction. My name is Christine Ishampepe, the Money Mechanic, and I help you fix your finances. I am on a mission to equip Africa's younger population with adequate financial literacy, advice, and strategy so they can journey to financial freedom and live life purposefully on their own terms and to the fullest, because money is no more a barrier. I want you to live your best life. The Hot Money Talks podcast is a series of honest, open, and transparent money conversations that will guide you on your journey to financial freedom. Here on the podcast, we believe 100% that financial freedom is possible with the right set of knowledge, the right amount of time, and the right circle of people. So, thank you for being here. Before we go ahead with today's episode, let me share some interesting life updates with you. So I ascended to the 3rd floor on December 25th, 2024. Yep. I turned 30 on Christmas Day. So yes, I'm a Christmas baby. So at first I was freaking out about the whole age 30 thing. But when I took stock of how far God, has brought me, fear didn't stand a chance anymore. So you know what? I'm 30 and I'm loving it. I also stepped out of my comfort zone and got 3 new piercings on my ears. Now, this took a lot of guts because there was a whole lot, to consider. But I did it and I absolutely love it. YOLO, guys. YOLO. You only live once. Anyways, before I end up gisting you about myself, let's now get into the discussion for today. So it's a new year, and of course, New Year resolutions and 12-month goals are flying around, and therefore it's important to get our financial goals right this period as well. So today we will be talking about how to use the smarter strategy to set our goals. So when it comes to goal setting here, we are familiar with the SMART goal setting method, right? So that's where we say set goals that are specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant or realistic, and then time bound. Now, this year, however, the goal is to go beyond setting SMART goals to setting smarter goals. But before we come to that, let's do a little background discussion on goal setting. Now, what's a goal? A goal is something you want to achieve, right? Great. Now, a goal is not complete, however, if it has no strategy to it. That's why a common quote states that a goal without a plan is just a wish. So why do money goals matter in the first place? The first reason why money goals matter is because money affects every area of our life. Every area, every single area. And because money affects every area of your life and my life, it means that we need to learn about it. Of course, that's why we have financial literacy. And we need to plan for it as well. that's why we set financial goals, right? So just like you set other goals, career goals, business goals, health goals, relationship goals, you should also set financial goals as a top priority, because your money affects every area of your life. Secondly, money goals, they bridge the gap between our dreams and reality, to be very honest, right? Because a whole lot of the things that we want to achieve, really, they take money. If we have money, we'll definitely achieve a whole lot of the things we want to achieve, right? So when we're able to set money goals, we're able to say, okay, you know what, this is but a dream now, but if I go through this strategy and this strategy and this and this and this and this and this, and I do it consistently and I hit my goal, this thing or this goal will move from dream to reality. Money goals also matter because they also reflect our values. If you want to know a person's values, right, just look at what they do with their money and you'll know what they value. So yes, your money goals, they reflect a whole lot about your values. And then of course, money goals create accountability. Yes, so when you have set a goal, now you can be held accountable. Now you know what you're working towards, and it makes it easy, right, to track your progress, either by yourself or someone else tracking you. So there are three main types of money goals. We have short-term goals. Now, these are goals that you need to achieve in less than a year, right? So we're talking between a few weeks and a few months. Then we have medium-term goals. These are goals that you hope to achieve or attain, in 1 to 5 years. Then we have long-term goals. Now, these are goals that, will take you 5 years and above, right, to achieve. Now, it's important, right, that you're able to classify your goals into short, medium term, or long term, right? Because even the strategy, right, you will use to set the goal or you will apply to the goal is also going to be greatly affected by the duration of the goal, right? So it's important that you're able to classify your goal. Is this a short-term goal? Is this a medium-term goal? Is this a long-term goal? Okay, because obviously if something is a short-term goal, the strategy will be different. The pressure, if I may put, the pressure you will apply will be different, right? If you know that you have a shorter period of time to hit a particular goal. So now let's talk about smarter goals now. Now, smarter goals now are like an extended version of SMART goals. So smarter goals now are goals that are specific, goals that are measurable, goals that are attainable or achievable, goals that are relevant, goals that are time bound, and then the E now stands for goals that we evaluate and review, and finally the R stands for goals that we reward. So let's quickly run through understanding, all of these points. So with goals now that are specific, right, we're saying that you are able to articulate clearly what you want to do or what your goal is. Very clearly. It's not vague. It's clear. Like if someone else picks up your goal and wants to read it, they know exactly what you want to do. So you want to save, great. But you don't just stop at saying, oh, I want to save this year. I want to save X amount this year. Now that is a specific goal. I want to travel, okay. I want to travel for vacation this year, okay. But now I want to travel for vacation to, let's say, the Bahamas. Now that is specific. Okay, so goals that are specific clearly articulate what exactly you want to achieve. Then goals that are measurable. For goals that are measurable now, we are answering the question of how will you know when you've achieved or you reached this goal? Okay, so for example, you say, I want to save 500,000 naira in 6 months to do this and this and this with it. By pegging this goal with an amount, you're already making it measurable, right? Because now you know that if you only reach 300,000 by that 6th month, you have not achieved your goal, right? And when you're tracking it, even in the couple of months, before that 6th month, you're able to know, okay, it's the 3rd month and I'm just on 200,000. Okay, it means that I have 300,000 to go. And then your mind begins to work, okay, how am I going to, hit this goal before the 6-month period is over? Probably ask yourself things like, what is the constraints? Why am I not able to? Or why haven't I gone at least halfway? Right? And all of that. Then, we now have A, that stands for goals that are achievable or attainable. Now, we're now talking about setting goals that are within your power to accomplish. Now, let's make this practical. I see people make this error where they have very limited source of income, but if you look at their financial goals, they're mind-blowing, right? So, for example, you have someone who's earning, let's say, 50,000 naira a month as salary, but if you ask them their saving goal for the year, they'll tell you they want to save 1 million naira, and you're wondering, make it make sense. Even if you save your entire salary per month, you don't do anything with the salary, you're just saving it, you still won't be able to reach 1 million naira in 12 months. So why is this really an achievable or attainable goal? Do you understand? Is it in your power to accomplish it? That is very, very important. Very important. Now, I'm not saying don't dream big. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying also be realistic. Do you understand? In your goal setting, ensure that you are setting goals that you can prove to say, okay, yes, I'm saying that my saving goal is 1 million naira this year, but aside having a salary of 50,000 naira, I have this other source of income that brings X amount of money. I have this other source of income that brings X amount of money, and by the time I put it together, I should be able to save my 1 million naira by the end of 12 months. Now, that's a different matter. So as you set goals, ensure that you are setting goals that are within your power to accomplish. Okay? Then the R now stands for relevance. And now we're talking about the importance of a goal in your journey, right? So sometimes we set amazing goals, but when we look at where we are on our journey, it's not really a relevant goal at that point in time. So you're a university student, right? And off the top of my head, your living conditions aren't the best, right? And instead of you to think about how to improve your living condition, you go ahead and set a goal to buy a car for yourself. When you look at your journey, is that really relevant? Is that really relevant? Or you have an exam coming up that needs you to buy, some certain material to pay for even certain field trips. You have bills that are associated with your education, which should be your priority at the time. However, your goal is to buy the latest iPhone so that you feel among and you're not left out. Okay, is that really a relevant goal to you right now? So sometimes the goals that we set for ourselves are not even relevant to our journey at that point in time. So ensure that your goals are relevant. Then, of course, your goals are to be time bound. Everything that has beginning suppose get end. So you've set this goal. Great. How long do you want to take to achieve this goal? When do you want to see the end of this goal? Of course, time boundaries can always be adjusted, but give yourself a time frame so that you have something to work towards. Then we said smarter goals are goals that you evaluate and review. What this means is that after you set goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, you don't stop there. And that's a mistake many of us have been making over the years, including myself, right? We set amazing goals, smart goals, but you know what? We stop there. So you set a set of amazing smart goals in January, and by March you've forgotten what those goals look like. Why? Because maybe you checked on them in February, but then when you realized it was looking like the goal this year is just to save my life, because the economy is not taking it easy on me, you just forget your goals and you're like, I beg, we go again next year. No. Smarter goals now have you evaluating your goal every step of the way, reviewing your goal every step of the way, making adjustments, reminding yourself of what is at stake and working towards it. Right? Now, this is where we introduce the concept of spending time with your money. In other words, having money dates with your finances. And essentially, money dates is a money meeting with your money, which I recommend should happen at least once a week. Take a few minutes and analyze your finances. Also, in this past week, how much did I spend? How much did I make? The financial goals I set for myself at the beginning of the year, how is it going? I said I was going to be saving this amount of money every week or every month. How far? Where am I? What progress am I making? When you evaluate and review your goals, trust me, you will stay on top of your goals. I practiced this in 2024 and it was incredible because I saw myself achieving my financial goals like I had never done before in my life. Simply because I stayed informed about my financial journey every single week. And now I have made it almost an everyday practice, at least for income and expense. I try to track that every day. And it doesn't even take any long period of time. I just have a little tiny notebook. When I come back from my day, I just take a few minutes to write down what I spent and to note down what I made in terms of income. And then during my proper money dates at the end of the week, I analyze everything. I know where I stand. And then finally, attach a reward to your goal. An incentive, right? It helps you to stay motivated to want to achieve your goal. So when you achieve your goal, how do you reward yourself? Do something nice for yourself. Of course, don't go overboard in the sense that maybe you met your saving goal and then you end up packing the whole saving goal to reward yourself. No, but you know what, would help you stay motivated. Reward yourself. So now that we've been able to understand what smarter goals are, I'm sure you'll agree with me that when we make statements like, I want to save money, or I want to blow, or I want to be rich, when we say those are our goals, they are not goals after all. They're just wishful thinking, right? But you see, when you set goals like, I will save 500,000 naira by December 2025, and I will do this by saving 42,000 naira monthly from my salary in PiggyVest. Now, that is a smarter goal. And then you go further to putting systems in place to say, every week, I will spend time with my money. And when I hit this particular goal, I'm going to take myself out for lunch at my favorite restaurant. Now, you see that when you look at that goal, it is comprehensive in nature. It allows you to act on that goal and see it through till the end. So one thing to remember when setting your goals is that your goals must be actionable. And when we say that your goals must be actionable, we are saying that you ensure that there is a how to your goal. Do you understand? There is a how to your goal. So your how gives clarity to your goals and helps you to plan better. So now that you've heard this, do you think you need to rework on your goals for this year? Please, by all means, go ahead. So as we wrap up today's episode, I would like to share a quote with you by Terry Savelle Foy, who says, and I quote, "Vague goals produce vague results." And of course, vice versa. If you set clear goals, they will definitely produce clear results. So when you set vague goals like, I want to save this year, I want to be rich this year, I want to blow this year, don't expect clear results. Because I'll always give this joke and say, when you say that I want to blow is your goal, It means that if you blow like balloon, you have blown. If you blow like bomb, you have blown. If you blow like a gas cylinder, you have blown. But is that the blow you really mean? Obviously not. But I hope you get the point. So ensure that your goals are clear. Very clear enough, so that it makes it easy for you to act on them. So dear tribe member, I hope that this is the wake-up call you need to crush your goals in 2025. Did you enjoy today's episode? Thank you for listening. Now, sharing is caring, so please go ahead and share the link to this episode with someone you want to see win with their finances this year. It would mean the world to me if you took a few minutes to leave me a review in the comment section of this podcast so that others can see your endorsement and join the community of listeners who enjoy this podcast. If you have any burning questions that you would like me to answer on the podcast, please shoot me an email via talktothemoneymechanic@gmail.com and let me know your dilemma. Don't forget that new episodes of the Hot Money Talks podcast drop every Saturday, and you can listen to them on your favorite podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Subscribe and follow the show on either of these platforms so that you are notified whenever an episode is released. Recommendations are powerful, so please tell your friends and your family about this podcast so we can go on this journey together. To connect with me on other platforms, do well to follow The Money Mechanic at The Money Mechanic page on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I hope most importantly that you will take action on your finances today. Sending you love, light, and a sprinkle of money in between.